Hi, thanks for choosing Quartz Renew. For those of you watching today that may have purchased the product already, thanks again. The product will do a great job for you, and today we're going to talk about how this will be incorporated into your repairs so you're successful. First, I wanted to take a moment to talk about Quartz Renew and how it's introduced into a repair. I will be doing some diamond polishing today, and I'll show you in a minute where we're starting with damage to a top that could be a typical repair of a countertop. And I'll quickly go through the diamond polishing steps, really to show you where you need to end up before you incorporate the Quartz Renew into your repair. Quartz Renew will not remove scratches by itself. It will not remove severe chemical damage, cracking, anything like that. All your major damage will have to be removed prior to this with diamond polishing. So as a result of diamond polishing, what happens with quartz countertops is you remove the snakeskin appearance, which is common on any quartz product. So a successful repair with diamond polishing will look great as far as sheen goes, but when caught in the light angle will not blend in with the rest of the top, so it's really a wasted effort in the end, even though you've removed the damage that was there. So Quartz Renew was designed to come in at that point after you successfully polished the damage away with the diamond pads, and then comes in and incorporate the snakeskin back into the product and removes any residual hazing out of the area and blends in the repair to ultimately save thousands of dollars in replacement. So we're going to first start. I'll show you all the products that I'm using today. We really designed this with Regent stone products to incorporate everything that you would need, from the diamond pads all the way through the Quartz Renew, and so you have a one-stop shop and know that you can take care of pretty much any damage that's to a quartz top as far as face polishing goes. Okay, so I'm going to show you all the products we'll use from start to finish, starting with diamond polishing to remove the damage, and going through those steps, and finishing up with the Quartz Renew to blend in the repair. Okay, so we've worked with Regent to give you an exclusive offering of products aside from the Quartz Renew that will help you be successful in your repairs. Because diamond polishing and your ability to face polish really has an impact on the final results of how Quartz Renew will work for you, we thought it was important to go the full length of what's involved with a quartz repair. Okay, so quickly we're starting with Sorma pads, and we have two types of diamond pads that we will use, and depending on the situation that we're in will depend on the type of pad we use. Sorma pads are it's a great new product for Regent. They're designed as dry pads. We will use some of the steps slightly wet, which you can use, and we'll finish up with the last step as dry, and we'll go over that a little more later. This would be a great product to use for the type of repair that we're doing today, where it's shallow scratching and we're not really hogging out a lot of material. And then there are also the Pulsar pads, which are offered through Regent, which are traditional resin pads with a high diamond content. And really, there's a lot of pads out there. Some claim only for granite, some claim only for engineered stone. Really just want a pad that has a high diamond content, and so we've played around with a lot of pads, and Pulsars definitely do the trick. These type of pads will be used for those repairs that have to be that require a lot of material removal. Okay, for example, a seam with a height variance where you really have to do some grinding. In the case of the Sorma pads, you would really wear the pads down quickly. So we have the resin pads to do that type of polishing. Okay. For a backer pad, we're using a 5-inch backer pad, and we use 4-inch pads, resin pads and Sorma pads. You can use 5-inch pads. I prefer to use a smaller pad than my backer pad. In the case of quartz, it helps eliminate or cuts down on the possibility of dipping, which would be if you tilted your polisher slightly, the edge of the pad, which tends to curl up naturally, would dip into the top a lot easier with the same size backer pad. So that's why we use the oversized backer. Okay, as far as our polisher goes, also from Regent, we have the Metabo Pe 175. It's a great machine. You know, as most polishers go, they're typically designed for edge polishing and not very friendly when it comes to the balance weight. They're very back heavy. I like this machine. Number one, it has an overload protection. It is double geared, so it can handle the larger buffing pads. And I love this handle in the front, which gives me some good balance control when I'm face polishing. Okay, moving to the pads. When we start using the Quartz Renew, we go to a 7-inch backer pad, and each individual step, there are 3 steps involved with Quartz Renew. The first step would be wool, second would be a green cutting pad, and the third is a white finishing pad. And finally we have the Quartz Renew. Comes in kits of 3 bottles, set up as a 3-step process for the typical repair, which would be what we're doing today, where we're polishing out or even grinding out damage and then bringing it back up to like a glass-like finish with the diamond pads. Then we would pretty much use all 3 steps. But as I'll show you later, we can use these individually for different purposes as well. So it's not always a 1, 2, 3 process. Sometimes it'll come down to your assessment of the situation and what it needs. So that's for that reason. That's why we kind of put the numbers in parentheses, but really wanted to highlight the red in the red there what each step is intended to do. So if you're assessing a situation and you really don't see damage to the quartz, but you do see some resin hazing, minor abrasions to that, then the resin polish would be might be the starting point for you. Okay, so we'll go more in depth later, but this is the kit as it comes. And so the first step is the Snakeskin Revealer. This is an aggressive product. This will literally change your glass-like finish back to a snakeskin finish in merely seconds. This is not a polish. It's not. It will not really change your sheen. It will just change your texture. The second step is the resin polish, and this really goes after the resin. Like I said, if it's abraded, does remove subtle hazing, but again, it's not going to remove severe scratching, anything like that. But does do quite a nice job in blending out any residual hazing that's left over from your diamond polishing. And the final polishing is really a blender. It's also will remove very subtle hazing, but is primarily the last step you would do to blend out a repair into an area.